of how I met, married, and got scammed by a gold digger. So we get ready for Jamaica. We fly in, and I'm feeling so relieved. I feel like finally we're going to have some time to ourselves, time to focus on us, really slow down. He's no longer working, but work pressure is not on the both of us. The house is now in the process of being sold, and the family stuff is out of the way. We can finally just really enjoy married life and be together. So we get into Jamaica, and they show us around, take a tour, and we have a buffet that night. And we go back in the room, and I'm really excited, thinking, finally, we have some adult time. So he flops onto the bed while I go into the bathroom to change into something special that I bought for this occasion, and I hear the sound of the TV turn on, and I'm thinking, what? And my heart sinks, but I'm thinking, this is recoverable. So I step out in my little negligee that I got for the occasion, and I pose in front of the TV, and he almost cranes his neck to look around me. Says, do you mind just coming up and joining me? I really want to watch this. Okay, so I do. Feeling now overexposed and underdressed and stupid, the cold and the air conditioning, but I do. I climb up next to him and settle down, and then suddenly, next thing I know, I'm waking up. I've fallen asleep. I dozed off. The TV's still on. I don't know how much time has passed, but I can tell that Caesar's on the phone. He's doing something on his phone. So without letting him know that I'm awake, I look over at him and look over to see what's on the screen. And at first I can't quite make out what I see. I see flesh tone, but I don't quite get what I'm seeing. And then it hits me. He's watching, and I watch him watch it. He's watching it, he's stopping, replaying stuff, and he'll even zoom in on a piece of the video. And I'm stunned. This is a person very well practiced. No embarrassment, no shame here. So while I'm watching this, a text message comes in. He flips over to the message screen, and I can see at the top that it's a woman. He texts her something. I can't see what he says. And then he looks for a photo, and he sends her a photo of himself. And then a few seconds later, a photo of her drops in. I'm stunned. He flips back to the again, and I can't stomach this. So I make sounds like I'm waking up. He goes, oh, sweetie, you're awake. And he starts to then touch me intimately. Not really engaged himself. It's not like he's kissing me and holding me. It's just touching me. This just feels cheap. Feels awful. And I'm starting to back away from him. And I said, you know what? I'm tired. Let's just go to bed tonight. Oh, okay. And I don't even know how to bring up what I just saw. So we fall asleep that night and wake up the next morning. I'm still thinking, how do I bring this up? What do I say? So we have brunch, and then we go to the pool, and we're enjoying some drinks and kind of hanging out. And I finally work up the courage, and I said, hey, I saw you watching last night and texting a woman. You texting her to where you sent a photo of yourself, and she sent one back of her. I'm not okay with this. I thought that you weren't into I'm not okay with this. He gets angry, gets cold, and he swims away. And an hour he comes back, and things are tense, and we start to go get dressed for dinner. And we go and we have this dinner where it's just hardly we're talking to each other. It's our second night of the honeymoon, and the tension's so thick. We get back to the room, and he stands in the doorway, and he goes, I'm going to go see the musical. I know you're not interested, and I'll be back in a couple hours. And he turns around, he spins out, and he walks back out the door. I'm just staring at the door as it closes, shocked, crushed. And it hits me. I know what this is. He's punishing me for confronting him for what he did last night, that first night. He comes back in 2 hours, and he's changing in the bathroom, and I haven't said anything. I don't know what to say. I don't know how things are between us, trying to gauge his mood. And he calls out from the bathroom, hey, let's go to the pool. Are you open to that? I really want to do that. So I put on my wet swimsuit, and we track off into the dark, into the pool, and we get there, and we look up, and the moon's out, and he says, see that? You remember when we got married? Remember that day? I'm sorry, you remember when we got engaged? You remember that day when we got engaged? And how the moon was out that time too? We shouldn't fight. I'm so sorry. And you know what? You're right. I shouldn't be texting other women and sending them pictures of myself. Married people don't do that. So how about we put our phones away for the rest of this trip and just focus on ourselves? And it feels like music to my ears. I start to cry. He tells me how much he loves me, and we then, it feels like things have moved better. So the next morning we wake up, and we put our phones into the safe, And for the rest of the next few days, like the rest of that week, it's great. We have a good time. We do fun things together. We take a few tours. We meet another couple, and it's not like super like physically romantic, but it's sweet. It feels fun, and it feels like what I had hoped for. So we finally get down to the last day. We have a great dinner. We kind of walk back arm in arm and wrapping up this really wonderful week together. He says, let's pack in the morning. We have some time. Again, it's not like really physically intimate, but it's still really sweet. And so we fall asleep that night, and I wake up like about 4 a.m. the next morning to need to use the restroom, and I can see that someone has messaged me. A stranger has left me a Facebook message. So I finally am able to see the bright screen and read what actually this person says, and she writes to me, so the joke's not just on me. It's on you too. I've been dating Caesar for the last 3 months. And then she proceeds to describe my sunglass case that I leave in his car. She then says, hey, was that you the night? And she describes the night in May when he and I went to the courthouse to pick up his divorce decree. Was that you that called twice and he said he'd be home in a half an hour? He'd been with her. And I texted her for a couple seconds, verified a couple things, and suddenly it was like there was two realities. There was the reality of what I thought was happening and what I knew, and that this guy is going to work and he's coming home, and he'd seen his kids and we're getting ready to move, and I haven't even talked about starting a Mexican company together. And then there was the reality of what actually happened, and I realized I didn't know that reality at all. I realized I had married a stranger, and it felt like those two snow globes, those two worlds, those two realities came together and crashed. And my reality, what I thought, who I thought I knew, who I thought I married, broke. And I realized I didn't know him. I'd married a stranger, and with that, my mind went blank, went like white, static, offline. I disappeared. Time stopped. And I don't know how long I was gone or checked out, but I heard the sound of something chattering in the room, and I realized it was my teeth chattering. So I was shaking cold. I rushed to the bathroom, and I just didn't vomit, but I just lost it in the other end, just lost it. And I don't know him. He's a stranger. So I go back and I wake him up. I see Caesar, somebody texted me. They said they know you. And he says, stop texting her. And then hit me. He knows her. He knows what I'm talking about. So I slip on my sandals and I tear off to the beach. And I'm circling around on the sand. And I'm saying the Lord's Prayer. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. The Lord is my shepherd. I'm thinking I need guidance. I don't know what to do. My house is sold. My car is being sold. My son is moving out. I'm moving to a new country. I don't even know the language. I have a visa that I have to finish. I don't know how to get off this. I don't know how to get off this train. I don't know how to get off this ride. So I call a first friend who never actually met him, and I said, tell her what happened. And he said, I told you he's a gold digger. I hang up thinking, this is not helpful. I need help. I need some advice. I call a second friend, and she said to me, I think he's traumatized. Remember you told me about his terrible history he told you about on the first date? I had been abused on the first date. I think he's got a addiction. Go talk to him. Okay, I can get my arms around this. As a clinical psychologist, that makes sense. Okay. So I step back into the hotel room and I look at him, and he's just looking at me, and he's like near tears, and he said, you're going to leave me? I wanted to know what it was like to have an affair, and I'm so, I know it was stupid. It was really stupid, and I'd not done that before, and I think I have a addiction. I've tried to share it with one of my other wives before, and they didn't believe me. I just looked at it like, we're running out of time. So I don't know quite for sure what to say. We pack, we meet the transfer, we head back home. The ride's tense. I can already tell he's getting kind of copping an attitude. And we get home and we get into the house. I can see the light to my under the son's door that it's on, and I know he's up, and I know I could talk to him, and I think, but if I do this, I'm going to drive a wedge between him and my new husband, and there's no going back. They'll become enemies. I can't talk to him about this. I can't think of who to talk to about this. So that's where I'm going to end part 9.
Wow, this is beyond heartbreaking. Imagine thinking you're heading toward a fresh start just for reality to come crashing down in the most shocking way. She went from a sense of relief in Jamaica to discovering betrayal at its worst. This whole situation feels like watching her trust, her plans, even her dreams shatter. And his manipulation with the whole sex addiction excuse, it's so transparent, it's painful. This isn't just a betrayal. It's like she's realizing her life has been with a stranger all along.